Controversial National Conference leader Mustafa Kamal is facing severe criticism, this time from within his family. Now, his nephew and Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Omar Abdullah has condemned Kamal for his anti-India comments made while addressing party workers in Kishtawar on Sunday. Now, Dr. Kamal, who is the General Secretary of the party, said, and I quote, "Pakistan is not our enemy. Our own country is our enemy." Now, distancing himself from Kamal's statement, Omar tweeted that he doesn't need anyone to make things difficult for him when he has relatives to do it for him. In another tweet, Omar said that one should never work with animals and children and that it's safe to add relatives to that list as well. Now, Omar's dig at his uncle is no surprise, as this is not for the first time that Dr. Kamal, the younger brother of Farooq Abdullah, has embarrassed the party and the state chief minister as well. Now, Kamal was sacked as the additional General Secretary of the National Conference by Farooq Abdullah in November, in fact, last year for his remarks against ally Rahul Gandhi. Some weeks before that, he had accused the Indian Army of orchestrating a twin grenade attack in Srinagar on the 25th of October 2011. Well, Shuja Ulagna joins us for a live input on this story. Omar Abdullah, they're summing up the situation quite aptly for the National Conference, Shuja. I mean, this is something which is coming from within the party, and the Chief Minister not taking it too lightly either.
Well, that's right, Aditya. Mustafa Kamal seems to be finding it difficult to explain what he had said in Kishtawar just the day before. But now that the Chief Minister himself is tweeting and saying that it was very difficult for him to work with people like Mustafa Kamal, it will be all the more challenging for Mr. Kamal to explain his statement that he has made. We've just received an information that Mustafa Kamal might be addressing the media in about an hour's time from now. So we are expecting that he would make some statements in the wake of what the Chief Minister and his nephew Omar Abdullah has tweeted. But yes, as you were pointing out, this is not the first time that Mustafa Kamal has made controversial statements. He has been making statements like these earlier as well. Last year, he was seen himself pitching against the army, after which he had to step down from the post of General Secretary in the National Conference. So what remains to be seen is what really would happen after this particular statement of his. Would any action be taken from his party's side, or it would just be limited to Chief Minister tweeting about the incident?
Shuja, but the fact that the Chief Minister himself has reacted in a rather strong tone as well on Twitter, coming out and saying that, who needs enemies if I have family members like this? Well, goes on to, sort of give you a sense of what the relationship between the two is like as well, the problems as they come forth within the National Conference as well.
Well, that's right. It has been a known fact that every time Mustafa Kamal makes a statement which makes it difficult for Omar Abdullah to explain, Omar has been coming out very openly and criticizing his own uncle. Last year we saw Farooq Abdullah himself coming out and criticizing his own brother for making statements like these. He was also seen at several places saying that people should not take what Mustafa Kamal says very seriously, because that's how he is. But that having been said, despite all these statements and counter statements, Mustafa Kamal.
Okay, Shuja, just stay on for a moment. Mr. Mustafa Kamal now joins us for an input on these comments. Mr. Kamal, your thoughts on the comments that you made and Omar Abdullah's reaction as well.
Well, as far as it was an address to party workers in Kishtawar, and it was spread over more or less 20-25 minutes, and to take out a few remarks from that address to the workers is tearing my statement to pieces.
Mr. Kamal, this is an opportunity for you to come clean as well, if that's what you're saying. So, what did you mean by that comment?
The main thing that they are targeting is that I have made a statement that perhaps I'm not an Indian in the first place, which should be dispelled. I have been elected to the state legislature 4 times so far, in the 8th, 9th and 10th and 11th assemblies of J&K. And as far as accession or being part of the Indian Union goes, there can be no doubts about it. In fact, my father was also labelled as anti-national, pro-American, pro-Chinese, just to nail him. And we have a long history of being accused of sedition, where there was no ground for it. and then ultimately charges against him were dropped after 11 years. Even my elder brother, Dr. Omar Abdullah, was accused of hobnobbing with AKLF in Azad Kashmir.
Fair point. So
number one, this seems to hurt me the most. That as far as the statement goes, I have targeted New Delhi. I have targeted New Delhi for its study and approach to the internal dimensions of the Jammu and Kashmir problem. And I have highlighted Armed Forces Special Powers Act, as well as the reducing the footprints of the security forces, including the army. And these two issues, Government of India has to do it. The ball is in the court of New Delhi. And if New Delhi doesn't respond to these problems which are hurting the people, then I'm forced to say that...
Mr. Kamal, why did the Chief Minister of the state, why did your nephew, sir, why did Omar Abdullah then not get the message that you were trying to put across? He's come out and said that enemies are better than relatives.
He perhaps has been too quick to give a reaction on something which has appeared in the media. Being in the seat of power in J&K state, he had plenty of time and plenty of agencies to give him the entire text of my speech. He should have gone through that first before he made these comments, which has hurt me.
Have you spoken to him, sir?
No. I see no reason to speak to him on this issue.
But sir, as a senior party worker, a member of the National Conference, this is your Chief Minister of the state as well, making a comment about your rather scathing criticism.
I have not done any crime that I have to go and explain my statements to the Chief Minister. He has all the agencies to go and dig into every word of my statement, including full stop and comma. I don't need to go and explain something which I don't need to explain. I have not done any crime by making a statement in public and articulating their feelings. It's the oldest and the largest political party of the state, which has been in operation since last 80 years. We have a right. It's a democracy. We have a right to hear our views. And why should it be wrongly represented by the press or the media?
No, Mr. Kamal, your comments which have appeared, sir, your comments with due respect, sir, which have appeared, say that, at the end of the day, you said Pakistan is not the enemy, India, the government is the enemy.
In relation to what I have said there, internal dimensions. Now, Armed Forces Special Powers Act was not enacted by Pakistan here. Neither the footprints of the security forces that are all over the place. It's not because Pakistan ordered them to do so. The elected government has been stressing, Omar Abdullah's government has been stressing all along these years that these two issues need to be seriously considered by New Delhi.
Mr. Kamal, I request you to stay on for a moment. PDP's Naeem Akhtar also now joins us. Mr. Akhtar, Mr. Kamal, they're standing by his statement saying that, I have made a comment about the Indian government, not about the country. Are you okay with that explanation, sir? Certainly the Chief Minister of the state doesn't agree.
First of all, I share Dr. Kamal Saab's sense of outrage at the very insulting tweet Mr. Omar Abdullah has made about him, equating him with an animal. If that is what an uncle is, what could a nephew be? Anyway, this is a season when politicians perhaps have lost control over their civility. But I must say that National Conference has always tried to operate in a grey area. They have always kept things boiling in Kashmir and then striking very deep relations in New Delhi. By that, they have run this plebiscite movement here for 22 years, which is the basic cause why separatism in Kashmir is not going away, because it has been nurtured by one of the tallest leaders, the tallest leader of Kashmir, and it is not going away. Second, then National Conference surrendered to New Delhi and convinced them that if Kashmir can be managed through rod and through force, it is only National Conference. Themselves, they have been quite cozy, and in the process, the ordinary Kashmiri has been made suspect in the eyes of...
No, Mr. Akhtar, that's fair. You're making valid points here, sir. But the fact of the matter is, at this stage, the issue is that Mr. Kamal's comments that he says have been taken out of context. The Chief Minister has come out and said that they have been
in isolation. They have been thriving on this kind of... And this is a division of labor in the family and in the party. Mr. Kamal will blow hot. He will say Pakistan. He will say Rashmari. He will say autonomy. And they have converted this AFSPA business into a slogan. Who stops the chief minister of this state, because it is in his jurisdiction to declare that this is not a disturbed area? The AFSPA will stop applying.
Mr. Kamal, you think this is the problem, that Mr. Naeem Akhtar of the PDP seems to have understood your situation more than your chief minister, sir?
I would like to comment on Mr. Naeem Akhtar's statement.
Yes, sir.
I must make it very clear. National Conference is not under trial just because of my statement. And Mr. Naeem Akhtar or his party is not judge. If his assertion that the militancy and all the troubles that the Kashmir is going through, National Conference is responsible for it. People have given their verdict in 1977 in the election, then again in 1983, then again in 1996, and before that.
Kamal Saab forgetting 87.
1983
Kamal Saab is forgetting 87.
Where we have robbed home with 2/3 majority. People have this kind of a statement. The National Conference would never have been able to get the seat of power through the electorate.
Because they have been fooling the people so far, and now that
I can only say this: he's half my age. That he should have gone through the not reacted what appeared in the press, because many a times press does take things out of context or puts it in its own format. He should have reacted after he had gone through the entire speech, and he, as Chief Minister, the speech. Copies of the speech almost go instantly.
Mr. Kamal, as a senior party leader, as his uncle, as the party general secretary, will you take this up with Omar Abdullah, sir? Will you take it up with him and speak to him?
Wherein it's not justified.
Sir, will you not take this matter up with him?
It's very difficult for him to work with the relations. He must realize blood is thicker than water. And so, everybody may ditch him, but his relations will not ditch him. We'll stand by his side through thick and thin. It's not others.
Mr. Kamal, you're presenting a united face, but will you take this issue up with him, sir? Will you take this issue up with him, sir?
Despite everything that the enemy will say, this family will remain one.
So you're saying the family will remain one, but certainly Omar Abdullah doesn't seem to agree, because he's taking onto a public platform, giving the PDP an opportunity as well.
He has reacted in half.
Will you take it up with him, sir? Will you speak to him about this?
You must understand one thing. Omar Abdullah has to save, Omar Abdullah has to save his share. He is an ally in Delhi. He is the meekest ally of UPA. So he has to save his share. He doesn't have to share the views of Dr. Kamal and risk his power.
Well, as far as I am concerned, power, National Conference has always got through the people, not through New Delhi. Like I mentioned, these 4 elections.
That is very doubtful, sir, especially after 87, which ultimately triggered this unrest and forced the Kashmiris to pick up the gun.
It is the People's Democratic Party that is in existence.
It was not born even then. PDP was born in 1998. And elections were rigged in 1987.
Their hands are full of blood of the innocent.
That history is judging already.
That is why we have been demanding.
Sir, history is making its decision already. If you can't see that, I can't help you.
Let government of India make a Truth and Reconciliation Commission.
It is not to be done by them. Omar Abdullah has been saying about this for the last 1 decade. He has not been able to do it.
People will see the real enemy.
These are political issues, sir, that both of you are discussing at this stage. Mr. Naeem Akhtar and Mr. Kamal, we understand these are, very sensitive issues that the two parties have been debating for a long time. Before I, let go of you, sir, Mr. Kamal, I want to ask you one final question. Will you take this issue up with Omar Abdullah? Will you approach him, seek an apology, perhaps, present your side of the story to him directly?
Well, as far as I am concerned, I don't need to give an explanation for something which I have said, which is innocuous.
Alright, so Mr. Mustafa Kamal is standing by his comments, saying that I don't need to give any explanations. Omar Abdullah being accused there by his uncle, a senior party worker as well, of not having understood the entire speech, not having seen the entire speech as well. Mr. Naeem Akhtar of the PDP, Mr. Mustafa Kamal, appreciate you joining us, sir, and giving us a sense of what you really meant with those comments.